Hey, what's up? I'm Josh with Ponoisms. This video is all about working with an agent that was in my office. I teach him some lessons that I paid over $700,000 in company splits during a tenure where I sold almost 100 homes. And I focus on the lesson that I learned. The major lesson that I learned is how to control my schedule so that when I get busy and I'm selling a ton of homes, at my highest point, I had 12 deals in escrow, 4 new listings coming to the market, 4 new buyers. I was managing almost 20 active clients at once. And this is the video that I gave him and the training that I gave him to help him get his organization skills up so that he could manage the business coming in, have his priorities, personal stuff all scheduled in, and most importantly, make sure that he kept his prospecting go so he didn't experience that roller coaster where it's feast or famine. You're busy, you're smashing busy, and then you're slow. This is a video that'll help if that's what you're experiencing now. And by the way, if you're interested in elevating your game, you're interested in learning from some people that have mastered sales and mastered the real estate game of managing your schedule and wearing multiple hats, then subscribe to the channel. We would really appreciate it. And we're going to be delivering some great content consistently. We are elevating the training in the industry, and we hope you enjoy what you get. Be well and enjoy this training.
Yeah, man, I think I need to just be more consistent with my dials. I think now that I'm getting a little busy with these buyers and other things, I'm not staying as disciplined and committed as I should with the dials. Just kind of prioritizing other things when I know I probably shouldn't.
All right, well,
It's
what's getting in the way?
I mean, just like, this land listing I have, like, and then a couple buyers, like I'm waiting on a counter offer today, and then following up with like these really hot buyers that I have that, there's not a lot of inventory. So I'm like, always checking the MLS for that, trying to find out some ways I can find them some inventory and stuff like that. So,
All right, well, do you want to fix it?
I mean, yeah, for sure.
All right. So what you're describing is the successful agent's time management issue. Okay, so one of the it's like there's symptoms and then there's the issues, right? So like a cough is a symptom of something going on in your lungs or your throat or your nose, right? It's like it's the symptom, but it's not the cause of what's going on.
Gotcha.
So you right now are having trouble because and by the way, you're adding a lot of weight to what you're talking about. You're like, well, I should be doing it. Stop shooting all over yourself, okay?
For sure.
All right. So there's no value in shooting on yourself. So here's what you got to do. How do you manage your time right now currently?
I pretty much
what
just
tools are you using?
To be honest, I'm a little old school. I kind of have to write things down. So I have a journal. Yeah, notebook. There you go. That's what I got. There you go.
All right. So Gary Keller, I talk trash about yeah, there you go. I talk trash a little bit about Gary's excellence with technology, but Gary, he uses a calendar, and there was this story. I promise I'm not drinking a mule. It was the only cup available. That'd be great. I'm at day 76, man. No drinks. So I most certainly didn't choose to do it on my training. So there's a story about Gary Keller and gosh, what the heck is his name? Cody Gibson. Do you know who Cody Gibson is?
Can't say I do, man.
Dude, he's a legend, man. He's incredible. He's a really, really awesome guy, awesome agent, built a big business. And they're sitting down, and I mean, both these guys are millionaires. Gary's a $300 millionaire, and Gary says, "Hey, I use a paper calendar." And Cody says, "That's cool. I use electronic." He goes, "All right, let's play a game." He goes, "You write down your net worth, I write down my net worth, and then we slide it over to the other person, and whoever has the higher net worth, they get to choose what system we're both going to use for their time management." And so, he proved the point of like, look, the paper calendar is something I learned from Brian. And the paper calendar helped me. If I wouldn't have if I wouldn't have had a paper calendar, there's a couple of things that I wouldn't have been able to do when I was selling, 40, 50 homes a year. Okay. And the reason why the paper calendar is is powerful is because you and it's called an appointment. It's called a weekly appointment book. They're like $15 on Amazon, dude. And what you want to do, if you want to fix your problem, that's why I asked you, do you want to fix it? If you want to fix your problem, then you've got to get everything organized. And the paper calendar is perfect to do it. So when I do my schedule, right? We've talked about this before. When I do my schedule, the first thing I schedule in is my kids' events. Hockey on Thursday, Taekwondo on Thursday, birthday parties, church events, all the things that are really important to me, date night with my wife. I schedule all that stuff in. I schedule it in first. I schedule my hockey time. I schedule all that stuff first. Anybody want to know why?
Because then you can work everything else around that because that's your like priority.
What the hell is the good of being an entrepreneur if you can't choose your own damn schedule? Right? Why go through all the bullshit? So I schedule all that stuff first. Then I schedule my non-negotiables, my office meetings with everybody, right? I schedule in my workouts because if I don't go get my workouts on, then I'm not going to be energetic. I'm not going to be focused. I'm not going to be upbeat. I focus on all that. Then I schedule in my prospecting. I schedule in my lead gen. Once I schedule those things in, everything else is open for clients. By the way, schedule your time off too. Schedule in your time off. Now, this is important to do on Sunday.
Yeah, I remember you saying you do it every Sunday.
I promise you. No, I try to do it every Sunday. And guess what? There's some Sundays I'm like, I don't want to do that. Every time I have a crappy week and I don't produce shit, guess what the number one constant factor is?
You didn't schedule everything.
I didn't do shit on Sunday. I was like, I'm tired. I don't want to. I got weak. So Saturday or Sunday has become a non-negotiable. You ever seen that video with Kobe? Like, deal was made. I'm not negotiating with myself. I always schedule it because every single time it bites me in the ass. So I get my paper calendar. I got my pencil because you got to erase stuff sometimes. Now, I schedule all that stuff out. I schedule in my lead gen. Then when clients call me or people call me and they go, I want to do it this time, I say, I can do it this time. Well, I can only do that time. All right, well, let's find another time because I'm booked there.
Gotcha.
Do you know what happens when you start telling people you're in appointments? They start finding ways to meet with you when you're not in appointments. The fear is that if we don't give them amazing service on their schedule, on their time, at their convenience, the fear is we might lose out or they might not get good service. The reality is that none of my clients think that I give them bad service. In fact, they use terms like, greatest, blah. I always crack up when somebody's like, dude, you're the best realtor ever. I'm like, nah, not really. I know better realtors than me. I know better realtors than me, right? I've got some talents, but you can't call me the best real estate agent unless you've met every single one. I know some people that just live, breathe, like they will work 80 hours a week because they just love it. Not me. So you can still give good service, but what'll happen, because you've run your system now for 4 or 5 years. What's going to happen at the end of 2023 if you don't manage your time?
I'm going to miss out on some business.
You're going to miss out on business. Why?
You let stuff kind of fall through the cracks. You don't stay organized. You don't have automated systems to follow up with your leads.
So, for example, I'm going to give you an example.
It's an unorganized garage.
I'm going to give you an example. This is an easy one. I didn't say anything to you because I knew you were going to figure it out sooner or later. And this is exactly what we're talking about a week later. Last week, I said something about 8 a.m. prospecting, and you're like, I can't because I gotta be at the photos for my listing.
Yeah.
Bro, that's the easiest appointment. You're paying those people.
Yeah.
You're actually paying them. They show up when you want. They work for you. And the client, when are you doing photos? Oh, I'm doing a Monday at 10 a.m. Oh, I really wanted the photos at 8. I'm sorry, I'm busy. I'll be there at 10 a.m. End of issue. I have no remorse, none whatsoever, for managing my time, because here's what I know. If I don't manage my time, my business doesn't grow. If my business doesn't grow, I get cranky. If I get cranky, I give bad service. So when these people are like, I really need that, I say, I appreciate that. And don't worry. You know, I tell people when they get really stressed out for a moment, Austin, this is how it goes when I get backlash. Man, I'm really stressed out. I really wanted it done then. Awesome. Are you afraid that we won't accomplish the goal? Well, I'm just really nervous about this house selling. Gotcha. Do you think I'm nervous about this house not selling? Well, no. No, in fact, I'm extremely confident. So why don't we talk about why you're concerned and why you're fearful, and I can help alleviate that concern, because that's part of the commission. I do all the worrying for you. And I've told people when they're stressing out, hey, do you fly on an airplane?
Yep.
Does it make you nervous when there's lots of turbulence?
A little bit, but they
All right.
usually pretty normal.
Hold on one second. Give me 1 second, man. Hold on 1 second.
All good.
All right. So you get a little nervous, right? How often do you fly, Austin?
Not very often, just a couple times a year, maybe.
So a few times here and there. So you get nervous with it. What if you got on the airplane? What if you got on the airplane and there was a little bit of turbulence and you were extremely nervous, and the flight attendant, who flies every single day, back and forth every single day, she's right there next to you, and she is the calmest you've ever seen anybody, and she's asking you if you'd like a beverage. Does that make you feel better or worse?
Definitely better. Yeah.
Why,
Calm,
why
cool,
do you,
collected.
why do you think you're stressed out and she's not?
Just because you're not used to it, and
Gotcha.
yeah.
So what you're experiencing right now is what I like to call a little bit of real estate turbulence. It feels scary because you've only done it a couple times, or this is your first time doing it. But what I can assure you on is that, like, 99.9999999% of all air flights, we're going to land safely and we're going to be fine. Because I do this every day. And what we're experiencing right now is no big deal. I literally use that script. Okay, so that's what these tools can help you manage your calendar. But if you literally buy the calendar, okay, and you get a pencil, and you go in there on Sunday and you schedule out all your personal stuff, including your day off. You schedule all your non-negotiables, your gym time, your this, your that, your this, your that. You schedule your prospecting time. Then after that, you look after prospecting, you look at your stuff. You go, okay, I got this buyer. All right, well, these buyers are actively showing. They like to see properties on Saturday, so I'm going to time block Saturday from 10 to 1 p.m. for showings. And then I'm going to spend 15 minutes, or I'm going to spend 5 minutes, and I'm going to write it in my calendar, 5 minutes, and I'm going to say, check new properties for Debbie. And all these little tasks that you are being pulled to, I check once a day. Like, so the way I do it, by the way, is I set up listing alerts. When I set them up in the MLS for the client, I set up listing alerts. And then I also CC for my active buyers that are showing properties. I CC me on all alerts.
Gotcha.
So now, and then I check for 2 seconds. I click on their contact. I check for 2 seconds. I look at it. Anything new? I look at it. And then I just shoot them a text. Hey, nothing new today. Keep an eye out. I'll send you something if it hits today. If you want to hit your goals, you have to manage your time. Real estate will absolutely, right? I'm going to say this again. If you want to hit your goals, hold on. I'm going to record this. This is like a Facebook reel right now. If you want to hit your real estate goals, you have to manage your time. Real estate is the shiny object, distraction, wear a million billion hats industry. And in our weakest moments, we'll always choose client tasks over prospecting tasks because we'll reason that we have to see this deal through. But the only reason why we're saying that is because we don't have a pipeline so full that we can afford to lose a client. Do you think that when I had 12 escrows going in August of 2021, I had 12 escrows going. I had 4 listings coming to the market. I had 3 additional active buyers that were not in escrows. Do you think I cared if one of my hot buyers didn't use me at that time?
Probably not as much.
Bro, when there were clients that were getting attitudes, I was like, hey, this is how it is.
Yeah.
Now, I worked extra hard not to get it, but the point, you get the point, right? The reason why we focus on, I don't want to lose something, is because we know we're lacking here. If you focus here, your fear goes away here, and it all starts with your calendar, your pencil, and your Sunday.
Nice.
That's good, Josh.
This was one of the greatest things. And by the way, I paid basically $700,000 for that lesson I just gave you. I'm not joking. 90 sales at 50% commission to my team. This is one of the lessons I got from it. And, you know, I use it because it was friggin' expensive. And I can't tell you, there's a lot of people that look at me and they're like, how do you do so much? And it's like, scheduling. And even now, oftentimes I'm like, man, I feel unproductive. I could do so much more. Because when you start scheduling stuff and you start putting it in your calendar, you start realizing how much time you actually have.
Yeah, and I'll have days where like I won't schedule anything and I'll feel like I did so much and I'm working and then the day's over and I didn't schedule anything, but I felt like I was just running around all day and I'm like, man, what a busy day. And then I start thinking about it. I'm like, what did I really do though? Like, you know, you start looking back, done. And then you got your days where you schedule everything out and you're like, oh, that was a pretty good day. And you're like, you don't feel like you did a whole lot, but you look back and you're like, oh, damn, I got a lot of stuff done today. Because you woke up early, you scheduled it, and you stayed true to your schedule and you knocked it all out.
Yep.
So yeah, I needed a refresher, man. Thank you.
You're welcome, man. And also, don't forget to schedule in your personal time, right? Because think about what I just said. You'll be shocked at how much time you actually have when you start scheduling that.
Yeah.
Right? You'll be shocked. So that's why, like, one of the first things that goes into my calendar every week is my gym time.
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, I do it at 9 a.m. on Tuesday and Thursday. Why? Because I hate working out in the morning. And I've had people that are like, you can't do that. You can't do that. Like, it works for me. If you want to work out at 10 o'clock in the morning, at 12 o'clock in the afternoon, and you're like, I'm going to prospect it for an hour or I do 2 hours of prospecting on the weekend to make it up. Like, you get to choose however you want to run your business. You schedule in your personal stuff, you schedule in your time off, right? Stephen Hurd. Look him up online, man. Stephen Hurd, his voicemail he schedules Thursdays off. Like, religiously schedules Thursdays off, like it's his day off. He calls it recharge day. On his voicemail, he might have changed it, but on his voicemail, he had, hey, if it's Thursday, I'm off. Every Wednesday, he reaches out to all of his clients and says, hey, is there anything you need? Where our office is closed tomorrow. Keep in mind, this is real estate. So anytime somebody's like, you're closed, yeah, we work nights, we work weekends. It's the only day we can get off. He doesn't schedule meetings. If I want to talk to Steven, I call him on Thursday. Because that's usually when I can get him. That's a pretty good video, man. I should do I paid $700,000 for this lesson. It's yours for free.
Thanks, brother. I'll put it to use for sure.
I promise you, man, if you do, and it's funny because, you know, I've got a lot of friends that look at me and they're like, dude, that's crazy, that's weird. I did that video and I shared it on Facebook about my time management. I got like 12 people that reach out to me like, dude, I feel like I'm lost. I feel like this, and like, that's incredible. And by the way, give yourself grace, right? Like, it's a new habit, right? You gotta, but that's why I asked you in the beginning, do you want to fix it? Well, yeah, I want to fix it. Great. This is how you fix it. And it might take you a year to get really good at it. But once you get it, bro, your life is going to be easier. You're going to have less stress. You're not going to feel like you're chasing a greased up pig. You're not going to feel like days just get away from you. And when your days do get away from you, what's funny is you'll look and you'll be like, huh, coincidence. I had nothing scheduled during that time. It's crazy now how when I have nothing scheduled, I get really unproductive. That's a whole nother issue.
Yeah.